Hi, welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll continue building on what we've learned so far by adding more details to our house drawing. This time we're going to draw a cottage using two-point perspective. This step-by-step guide will help you create a more realistic and interesting structure. Let's get started. Start by drawing a horizon line in the middle of the page and place your two vanishing points as far apart as you can, right at the corners on each side. Then draw a vertical line exactly in the middle, right on the horizon line. I'm purposely extending it a bit above the horizon line. To draw a house, begin with a cube. Connect the top and bottom of this vertical line to each of the vanishing points. Next, draw two parallel lines on each side of the vertical line. How far back you make these parallel lines will decide how deep the cube looks. Next, like you learned in the previous tutorials, find the midpoint on this side. Then draw a vertical line going through that midpoint. The length of this vertical line will decide how tall your roof will be. And after that, draw two slanted lines from the two corners that meet right at the top of this vertical line in the center. This creates a triangular shape for the roof. From the top of the front triangle, draw a line going toward the right vanishing point to form the roof's peak. Now draw one more slanted line at the back of the roof parallel to the front slanted line. I'll also add a small chimney at the back of the roof. When you're done, carefully erase your construction lines. If you accidentally erase any main lines, just redraw and darken them. Now we're going to fill these cubes with a wood pattern. To draw a wooden hut, I'll start by marking equal intervals in this corner. I'm planning to space these lines about 4 inches apart. I had a center line here that I erased, but it's still faintly visible. I'm going to use that line as a guide and mark spots along it at equal distances again. On this side, I'll connect each of these spots to the right vanishing point with straight lines. On the other side, I'll do the same, connecting the marks to the left vanishing point. Next, to make the roof look less flat, we need to add a visible edge. Draw a small straight line on the side like this, then draw a parallel line right next to the slanted line connecting the small line to the top of the triangle. Next, draw another parallel line right next to this one for the other side of the roof's edge. From the bottom of that line, draw a line extending to the right vanishing point. Mark the new edge of the roof at the back and draw a slanted line for it. This completes the roof's edge. Clean up any lines that you don't need anymore. Now for the next step, we're going to draw a door for the hut. Start by finding the midpoint of this rectangle, then draw a straight line through the middle. Next, mark where you want the door to be and sketch its height and width. Add a frame around the door. Erase part of the wood pattern where the door will be. To make the door look more realistic, draw a few lines on it that suggest wooden planks. Use a thin eraser to carefully remove any remaining guidelines. Finally, darken the main lines you want to keep. At the end of these lines, at the corners of the hut, draw half ellipses next to each other like this to show the rounded ends of the timber. Next, I'll erase a straight line under the roof in this part and replace it with curved lines to give it that rounded timber look. Do the same for the series of timbers at the bottom. In this section, draw a few half ovals again at the end of each piece of wood. Instead of drawing half ovals in this corner, I'll change my mind. I'll just use curved lines to show the timber ends. Then I'll add some half ovals to this corner over here instead. I also adjust the straight solid lines of the roof a bit. I want the hut's roof to look more organic and irregular. By darkening this area about the size of 2 logs, we can create a cutout here to serve as a window or opening for the hut. I'll draw several lines on the roof, spacing each one roughly the same distance from the previous line and connect them to the right vanishing point. Next, I'll add a brick pattern on the roof. I want the bricks to look a bit irregular and cracked to give the roof an old vintage feel. To do this, I'll switch from my mechanical pencil to a softer B pencil and darken the lines between the bricks, making the cracks look deeper. Then I'll take my kneaded eraser and give it a good wipe. Using it, I'll erase some parts of the break pattern to make them look faded, while darkening other parts to add contrast. The lines along the roof edges have faded a bit, so I'll redraw those to make them clearer. Finally, I'll add a shadow along the inner edge of the roof and make it a little darker for more depth. I'll do the same on this side of the chimney and a little below this part of the roof edge. We'll cover the rest of the shading and details in the next video. We'll turn this drawing into a beautiful mountain landscape. Stay tuned and see you soon!